Hey gang, welcome to another edition of Doc's Dumpster, where it's a review of the movie I Know Who Killed Me. This one is about a woman named Aubrey, who is a pianist and aspiring writer who is kidnapped by a maniac who, well, he just loves to torture young women. She's able to escape her captor. She's rushed to the hospital, where she slips in and out of consciousness. And at one point, she finally wakes up, is able to speak, and says that her name is actually Dakota, and she's a stripper. Well, her parents don't really believe who she is, so Dakota Aubrey decides to go on her investigation to figure out who she really is, piece together her past, the whole 9 yards. The FBI at one point discover Aubrey's little short story about a lot of stuff she's claiming and thinking that maybe she might be kind of crazy. So Dakota Aubrey continues to go on the investigation, where she eventually goes to the gravesite of a friend of hers, where she sees a blue ribbon, and apparently she realizes that the blue ribbon was given to her by her piano teacher, by her and her friend, to her and her friend, and that's when she declares, "I know who killed me." Yeah, name drop. And her father was following her during all of this, so they decide, screw it, screw the FBI, we're going to go and find the piano teacher named Douglas, if I forgot to mention that one, and confront him and get this whole thing straightened out and taken care of. Well, her father goes in to confront Douglas, but unfortunately her father does not win the fight. And Dakota convinces herself that she's really Aubrey. She goes in. She gets tied to a chair by Douglas, but eventually Dakota Aubrey defeats Douglas. He's taken out of the equation, and so she goes into the forest to discover that her twin sister, named Aubrey, was buried alive. The movie stars Lindsay Lohan and used that old chestnut tagline based on actual events. So the big question of this movie is, does this movie belong in a dumpster? This movie won 8 Golden Raspberry Awards, was the 2007 pick from Richard Roeper as Worst Movie of the Year, and was also picked by Richard Roeper as the worst movie of the 2000s. What do you guys think? Honestly, I think this is another one of those movies where Lindsay Lohan wanted to prove to people that, you know, she's a grown up and everything like that, and she wanted to play more adult roles. But this was not a movie that she should have gotten herself involved in. Was it confusing? Not really. Was it predictable? Oh yes. Not a great movie. Kind of boring, kind of stupid, kind of dull. And when you use that old chestnut based on actual events or based on a true story, you pretty much know that you are not going to get anything based on what really happened to whoever the movie is based off of. They usually use that tagline to get people to come in and pay a lot of money to see the movie. Unfortunately, not enough people came in to see this movie to make it a good profit, because on about a $10-12 million budget, the movie made about $10 million at the box office, and it is considered one of the worst movies of all time. I think this movie was kind of trashy for the sake of being trashy. It's pretty idiotic. The title alone should have just told people, well, this might actually be pretty good. But then when you realize it's another I'm Lindsay Lohan and I want to prove I'm an adult and not the little Disney kid anymore type movie, you pretty much know you are not going to be in for a very, very, very good movie. One critic said, if you like Lindsay Lohan in Freaky Friday, Mean Girls, and The Parent Trap, then you were going to want to skip on this movie. And boy, I wish I had. But this is another movie that a lot of people said avoid at all costs. But I had to check it out to see how bad it was. And once again, you all were right. So there you guys have it, a review of I Know Who Killed Me. If you like my videos, always feel free to subscribe. And however you feel about this movie, whether you agree or disagree, please put it in the comments below. And if you got a movie you think belongs in a dumpster, and hopefully nobody killed that dumpster, send it my way and I will get on it ASAP. Thank you guys so very, very much for watching, and until next time, as always, stay strong and rock on.